ama darega neto ate pa in many aspects ene ebedi nkoma fansem bebre ho ene ebedi nkoma fansem bebre ho ebedi nkomo afansem bebre ho na de ekoso oboko ene no mahama de ekoso oboko ene no onsa hyase ko nante ko uye na odana ukromfo ne omo uye nipa odwire nipa ho a enka wu nipa wu oboko no nka wudi Amerika ko ho se uye obi odwire nipa ho a enka hemfo akesefo ni nipa omo ye prominent people ewo northern region Bawku area no nka wa from nyina san omo line ne omo di nkoma find solution se John Darigay uye obi a uye competent as a president ya inka informally tie brofunu ye oh God, my God of Nazareth. So you be a winima mamu ye pa John Darigay enka wa find a way informally ahu kwan bia nka obefa so a nka woni Bawku any northern region and painful nipa omuka say ginam ebem nka woni omo di nkomo because papa enkwase akeka na onkoka ne wo Bawku ho no ene na trigger de ekoso no nyina papa fanyini temiye pa enkwase asem na ukogina campaign platform so a okeka ye no ene na trigger de ekoso wo Bawku mantemo ene akonati school ni akochino ne yakum no ochina abayu ase opia kwa abontan ne yapam no ne yachino ne yakum no papa bi si okwa afom ne yakukum na atuwuram onko awbre we so within just 7 months, yakumu nipa more than 300. Yakumu nipa more than 300. John Mahama. What is the cost of that? Bisaho na hwese utrima bua ankawa. Push the video to him. Abusia like video na share ma me yanko yanim. Be say the esi ne ewo Bawku no. Ni nyina ejina John Mahama so. Now the acquaintance ne it has escalated and go beyond the control. But beyond the kwane no. Mahama no kura no usuro but oye coward one nkrofo. Mahama Yariga is one of the most coward people in the world. John Darigay Dramani Mahama, another coward. Wako kan kwasi asem mana generating violence ye kuma manfo bo amanfo to te se twen ene noa. Instead of you to go there and talk to them kwanya ofa so okọ kasa wo ho before no na omonte wase na omunyina coming together to find agreement no wo dia sojafo na odi omo akogu ho se a sojafo mom de nko solve problem no ma and the sojafo so nko na omo kuma amanfo ana. John Darigay. Omana yetimi friend Ghana. Ghana mana yetimi no. But be a settlement nipa bi etibia no. Yewo mpanfo omo ho omo no omo di sa settlement nanim. So when problems happen, you don't go with soldiers to solve the problem first. E o se wonko with another manner. Different manner from the political atmosphere. Na focus of a problem no. Na nam say wo papa we. Unye incompetent to lead the country ntino. Now we are incompetent. Now we know how to use the authoritative power. Ghana for the ashe unsamuntino. You are even misusing the authentic and the most powerful power that they have given to you as a president. And then na ode yenko na yenko tiense nkakra bi na yensamra na ansa na mekono na memfa nchiama adofo. Bene nchia kese ma mi maame Patience Danso. Mi maame Diana Apia mechia uye pa. Mi Gap Media wonso mechia wo. Mi ba Efua Dexter na je mechia pa. Achimpem Bote mechia uye pa. Mi maame Akua Tutu maame Monica na mechia wo. Mimia Kwajo George, no, sorry, Frimpong George, Michia ye pa Mimia, and Trimasia Dinkra Michiao, Tua Augustina Michia pa, Mama Louise, Michia ye pa, I want to say, Mimia Evans Jaben, also Michia ye pa. Abusia, Meso say like a video no, na share video no mame, na yenko yani. But before everything, Meso say, yenti video na emergency.
Any time the peace of Ghana will be disturbed, it is the MPP government that is in power. NDC is coming. When we come, we will make sure there's peace in Bawku and surrounding areas. When we come, our number one priority is peace in Bawku area. If you look at the history, you will find that anytime NDC is in government, there is peace in Bawku and surrounding areas. As soon as we hand over to our brothers, then trouble starts. But I can assure you that when we come, it's going to be our priority. We're going to work with the chiefs, the religious leaders, and everybody to make sure that we establish peace, sustainable peace in Bawku area. Chief, when he was talking, spoke about the many development projects that we did when we were in government. There were many more that we were working on, but did not finish before we left. I told the gathering at Bawku Naba's Palace that we're doing an inventory of all abandoned projects, because our policy is that when we come, we all know the state in which the economy is. There is economic crisis. When we come, our number one priority is peace in Bawku area. If you look at the history, you find that anytime NDC is in government, there is peace in Bawku and surrounding areas. As soon as we hand over to our brothers, then trouble starts. But I can assure you that when we come, it's going to be our priority. We're going to work with the chiefs, the religious leaders, and everybody to make sure that we establish peace, sustainable peace in Bawku area. Chief, when he was talking, spoke about the many development projects that we did when we were in government. There were many more that we were working on, but did not finish before we left. I told the gathering at Bawku Naba's Palace that we're doing an inventory of all abandoned projects, because our policy is that when we come, we all know the state in which the economy is. There is economic crisis. Anytime NDC is in government, Bawku is at peace. Unfortunately, as soon as NDC leaves government, the Bawku crisis flares up again. And let nobody say it's a fight between ethnic groups. There is politics behind it. And there are people who deliberately fund that crisis. Everybody, the majority of people in Bawku, Kusasis, Mamprusis, Bimubas, Busangas, everybody wants peace. Because everybody wants peace to do his business. I mean, the current curfew in which we are, nobody likes it. Our chiefs are being told they can't wear smocks and go into town. So what is a chief supposed to wear? A shirt like me? How would they know he's a chief? And yet, it's because of the violence and the crisis. And they were forced to do it because people hide weapons in their smocks and go and shoot at people. But I can assure you that peace is our priority. When NDC comes, and I didn't say if, I said when NDC comes, we're going to prioritize Bawku's peace so that peace will return to Bawku and people can go about their business and look after. It's the issue of peace. When I read the media, they say the Bawku chieftaincy conflict. There's no chieftaincy conflict in Bawku.
Abusia Mr. Wabo Madrana video no ye. I say Semna papa ne can a repetitive. I say and one I was sanka. But Okasa hatadi a channel. Hatadi a channel and the angle of the video no. Not to be biase. The entire mekasa. I want you to see how many times John Mahama nante ko Bawku. Na oko jina Bawku kusa asifu anim. Emeki no luku like say MPP for mom na ama kusa mamprusi for ahoden titiro bia omoni omoko. Na yekasa wo ye leader. Na we ye niema bia enti say ya. Now what are you actually expecting? Yento aso yenhwe.
There cannot be two kings in one kingdom. Every government recognizes that the overlord of Bawku is Naba Abugago Asigri II.
Kenye pao ujina kusasi for anim. E kanchire kusasi for say abanya waba bia e wo Ghana mamu bia nim say kusasi for hene na ye the overlord of Bawku land. We a direct instigation of violence among two tribes. Yento ado.
And that's why I say there's no conflict, no chieftaincy conflict. And so peace in Bawku is going to be my priority when I become president.
And medical council say kusasi for more hene na ye on my hene wo area ha. Enti media mi hunu say ntokwa bia ni ho. Ye ntia ntokwa ni ho ne say hene ne yenim ne dada. So the other tribes have to shut down. That is what Mahama want to tell them in another line. And all
of you know that when NDC comes, there will be peace in Bawku. And so I wish to urge you to collaborate with our security service personnel who are here. They have a very difficult job. Let's collaborate with them so that they can help to maintain the peace. And I can assure you that when NDC comes, we will make sure that peace comes to Bawku. Bawku has a lot of potential. When Bawku was peaceful, commercial activities were going on and everything was okay. Now, some public service workers have left the area because they are afraid for their lives. We will make sure that peace comes back to Bawku so that all of them can come back. And so I want to thank you, my father, for your warm welcome. We gave you just very short notice. But you have received us like a son who has come back. As part of the Bawku, anytime.
Okay, so you hear? It is direct instigation. You have recognized you someone top, so you can do everything to get your power back. Until Nawaba, now man for age gumwa. What ya clan and wasuma soldier for? Papa Kwana Kojina said you could na hoya, naka snatch the one. I Fagana soldier phone and do a china coho. Now I'm paying for Nkokasa. That is what you have to do. That is actually what you have to do. Nene, a man for beba show rough, wouldn't you to say eba? Okay, Mammy Monica, Yanko Promo, by why? Aye. Mimia Gab, that's a pa, I will check. Now the mammy YouTube announce, what the mammy WhatsApp announce Facebook. The mammy yesterday, Mwakwa pa, and a mammy only than ya consume Mwakwa pa. Yantuado. Mr. Mahama uncle on Nanti, on fan on Ankasan and 9 simu pine uncle. No, I didn't crop for Uncle Dinkomo. And yet, the original offer say oti regional man announcement da bi kɔ hɔ said you nante kɔ hɔ said you wo brana na to tia konwa so a otimi bɔ wo ho ban ema otimi nante kɔ bɔkɔ no ene wo na tia konwa so but wan kasa ho ban na kɔ bɔkɔ na ma peace enye dan enwure ni wo hɔ ogu ho ani ma ase papa.
NDC is in government, Bawku is at peace. Unfortunately, as soon as NDC leaves government, the Bawku crisis flares up again. And let nobody say it's a fight between ethnic groups. There is politics behind it. And there are people who deliberately fund that crisis. Everybody, the majority of people in Bawku, Kusasis, Mamprusis, Bimubas, Busangas, everybody wants peace. Because everybody wants peace to do his business. I mean, the current curfew in which we are, nobody likes it. Our chiefs are being told they can't wear smocks and go into town. So what is a chief supposed to wear? A shirt like me? How would they know he's a chief? And yet, it's because of the violence and the crisis. And they were forced to do it because people hide weapons in their smokes and go and shoot at people. But I can assure you that peace is our priority. When NDC comes, and I didn't say if, I said when NDC comes, we're going to prioritize Bawku's peace so that peace will return to Bawku. And people can go about their business and look after their families. Anytime and
okay, Intiabushia, and same way na John Mahama eka during the campaign time. Na Ghana wahu. Unima now the Ghana for adwene di agro. Na same na Mahama ka ye no. Say nya me nkwa na meti yo. The people enam sika na ye twia ma omonti no. Some of them your madwen so omonti the Mahama eka the campaign time ho. Because some of us, be condemn, he say, a leader, a potential leader, you cannot talk in this way. Yebekai. And then, and kwasiafora ni yamo bibia dia. And inti, na omwani abre den na dia mahamba kan bia omoso omonte yese ye boneno. Ebiruma sha ase kasa. Now, let's begin from Nana Jantua. From Ishira FM. Yenti asemo soka. Tie.
Dr. Bawumia na onim anything about this Mamprusi kinship ne de na ekoso no. I can tell you on authority.
Na nti yeah, Ahmed Muta me mo akwa papa. Enti Nana Jantua NDC paid stomach direction journalist Kwasi Ampanyini. Eti na unim niema we nyina. And a brand NDCD campaign said, Nana, Dr. Bawumia, sponsor Mamprusi for Dr. Bawumia through the MPP. They are sponsored. One man may carry. Na maybe so. And dear Ben Atua, and I'm a Nusuntia, and dear. Waba Bontene, Eba Becano Cre, and the Achregana for. Dear Nancy, dear Ben Assisa. And so
ye can contemplate the share Dr. Bawumia said on an essential to Kwanechi, Emma NDC for the year politics.
10 years pa.
In 70 be why you can't I am telling you the reasons are a drua. Not Dr. Bawumia only hompo. Dr. Bawumia our campaign ase. Ena on hinibi wo mo forso ya de ne call baby any kwanso mo de ne call and so NDC for the year campaign etia Dr. Bawumia said Dr. Bawumia and a shesa de na say Dr. Bawumia I can tell you obi obeka to say Dr. Bawumia no ni mu bi me say oboa na eyam trom kontompo eno mu twatwe eto Dr. Bawumia so he wasn't aware Mamprusi nyome nyina no nya aware and so ye cash and crofo trim Yefre bibi manufacturing of consent.
Papa
bia oye philosopher, ye journalist, Walter Lippmann. Ono mesua communication theory no. Omuni papa na friend Walter Lippmann no. He talks about manufacturing of of consent. Adeɛ bi wɔ hɔ a ɛnyɛ nokorɛ ba ebetumi ahohoro na mana yɛ nokorɛ na atɔ nipa tirim na ama nipa agye atum. Me say Dr. Bawumia mampurusi kusasi ntɔkwa no na onim ho hwee, but ɛsan politics nti NDC for led by Yera John Dramani Mahama so yɛ president no or the year politics. Emma kusasi for G2.
Eti well you see we are so no. Oh we phone sir na wa hwe wo de. Enti papa no gu so kasa kasa no. Ne nsɛm na no kan na mse na watua sika ma amamfo nti. Some people ignored it. But ene no kra na beda bonten. Where do you want to hide? You can't hide anymore. Na yen kwenkonko tie papa we so de okafa Yewra John Mahama ne ntro no ho. Ye ba ne atoado tie.
The government has no other choice now than to be high-handed. Excuse me. I mean, there's legitimate force, there's lawful, force to be used and all that. Because it does appear as though sometimes we pretend we don't know the problem, but we all know that the problems have been three-headed. One, we say that there are political undertones that we cannot deny.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a government in power, one faction thinks that they have a right to the throne, they have a right to misbehavior, they have a right to do violence and all that. And then we also know that there are chieftaincy, issues, and it's more about installing who is the Bawku Naba or something of the sort. And that's a bit difficult and a bit hydra-headed. It is when it becomes chieftaincy issues. It is difficult even for the law to intervene. It will have to go through the National House of Chiefs, in fact, from the local level, the traditional council, then to the regional, then to the
Supreme
national.
Court ruling on this Bawku matter.
Yeah, before we get to the Supreme Court and all that. So, again, Supreme Court ruling or court rulings do not solve chieftaincy problem. In very rare cases, you find that because they will keep challenging and even if they go as far as the Supreme Court and the decision doesn't go in favor of one party, you see that they may even agree, but inwardly or undercurrent do not give credence to the peace that you seek to procure. So this project, this agenda of government to enforce peace is more of being stronger on the ground, one preemptive when it comes to security, and then ensuring the populace that they are safe, because the safety of the people that is the issue. Another challenge we've had is that if you look at the area very well, from Bolga all the way to Bawku, is just one road, one major road that goes through all the way. And so when you are waylaid, or what you call you are ambushed, it's very difficult. And for me, I think that it will be good for the military to do this. It will also be good for the eminent chiefs that are mediating to continue their mediation. And I'm not too sure whether we're going to do mediation or arbitration. The two are two different issues. And all that. I have always maintained that all this while I thought that governments, and not only the NDC government, from the MPP to NDC, I thought that one of the things we would have done was to do a proper evacuation or create a buffer area where it's a no-go area. This tribe, this is where you are, this one, that's where you are.
We should split them.
I think that we have gotten to a point where we need to take some decisions and demarcate who crosses what. But the difficulty with that also is that they have intermarried.
Exactly.
There are people who are Kusasis and married to Pamampusis and all that. And so it's a difficult situation, Many years before now, that would have been possible, but now it doesn't look as though that is a feasible alternative to explore. So government is taking the bold step to go a step further in terms of enforcing the peace. The police, the military owe it a duty to this country to enforce law and order and to ensure the safety of Ghanaians' property and all that. So,
Mahama din semfo ama nema na agitreka agia pine nsem. Now and now no ankasa you don't know what to do. The situation has become bigger than him. Eno ntumi so ano. Na me bo video no chirewa how this guy was able to what? Gradually manipulate the mindset of the Kusasi people just for political power. And now the udria no I feel na washa asia ucha eho ade eho aba yento asode enko yanim I think say
John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, stood on a campaign platform and said that, you know, anytime NDC is in power, there is peace in Bawku. Anytime MPP is in power, there is violence in Bawku. I was afraid then, and I'm still afraid. And I'm only telling the president that he is simply reaping the resource of the recklessness of himself and his government functionaries on the issue of Bawku. What he needs to do is to do a quick self-introspection, find ways and means to go to Bawku and go and have conversations. Listen, the Bawku issue has moved from chieftaincy. It is very political, extremely political. But what I think is driving the Bawku conflict now is more of vengeance than anything. Because see, what is happening is that most of these young people are even killing themselves in Bawku. When you ask them why they are fighting, most of them cannot connect it to the chieftaincy matter, which is actually the baseline of the conflict. They can't. But what is happening is the young boy that was dragged from the dormitory and was shot, his family members have by now also taken up arms. And if the young boy is a Mampusi, it means that his family members are looking for a Mampusi life to take to replace. If the boy is a Kusasi, it means that
there's reprisals.
So you see, so today my cousin is killed. My entire family also left arms. We are simply looking for one or two people to also kill in replacement of that. So it is not enough to even go there and say we have declared curfew, and then here's a wrap up, and then have military men moving up and down in the community, because this is a conflict that is coming from the colonial days to now. How long are you going to have the military men in the community? How long are you going to have the curfew? So I think that what is really needed is not just we are paying too much attention on the chieftaincy conflict and resolving it. But I dare say that resolving the Bawku chieftaincy issue is not entirely the solution. People are hurt. People are maimed. I think people are bruised in the community. We need to have a certain social engagement as well. To go into the community and begin to talk to people. We need to hire professionals that will look at the entire Bawku situation and advise as to how we can go about it. How do we get this young man that was dragged from the dormitory and killed? How do we get his family members to understand that it is time to, it's a loss, it's a big loss, but let's go. So that they also don't take to go and avenge. Because immediately they also avenge. Then you can be rest assured that the other side will also come and avenge. So it's not just a chieftaincy matter. People who are not connected to the chieftaincy situation.
Ntabusiamfo asema yura miracles aboaje person kan ha nyina ne se yewura mahama ne kogina platform so ehihye kusasefo bo so mo ba ntokwa no so betwa na ntokwa kwan so befa so atwa nyina ne se he will support the kusase because he knows say the only king in the Bawku land is kusase hene na miracles na niate na odwene ko akiri ntse se Yura Mahama also nanting Bawku. Now go engage with the elders of the land. Now Montana say empasum because Tokwana na ye before about chief twice no and now be political and now be inter fight. We me bonia me yobi ateka anti bem and na ekoso ho. And na ekoso ho. But yes, say u prepare wo ho fa henchesha obi ensom mu bi entine enipa na wo som John Mahama na be president no, many of them has come out to tell him say, man, you spoke like a stupid boy. Aye obi akache no say papa won sem na wo ka ye no, it was politically not correct and intellectually not correct. But papa can say damage no across we Boneno were dear we. How is things going to be done? And I ate one there and Tokani free kusasi my moa. Ababe Piemu Kumase, a kopono, a name where it is going to happen. And when you have a weak and an incompetent person to lead you, that is what happens to your land. You can't tell them when I say. We any the Mahama. Why ye dear Mayen? One of the biggest achievements of John Mahama in 7 months. And he said, wakwa kofa waman tokwa bia generate ntokwa na aba form ntokwa in 8 years enipa edonu ene wuye papa we in 7 months watumi aye ama nipa haasa ahwere won kwa. That is the bigger achievement of John Darega Dramani Mahama. Yemfa Bawku nsem nsuo na yenko yanim kigim yenko yanim yeko yanim nko pam ene yenche because line no so ayeshipa ene yenche the other one Israel man Nyankopon a udi ohwe yenso na boy ho ban na ma ya hodren na wo kire yen de esene de fata na edruba bia yesi yentie. From January 2025 Ghana's public debt na another mahama buy a contractor so ntua wonka a teacher for ntua wonka nurse for yentua wonka police for yentua wonka contractors yetwetwem yeji more taxes from the ordinary Ghanaian no. Mahama has added already $10.3 billion. John Darige, we say Ose Darigo Dariga. The Mahama no. He has added $10.3 billion into our debt stock at the world market. Hey, I said, "Mwe biara meka say, during Anando Breso, the way that they used to talk about our debt, no, it was too much bias. Now you can't $1 sim. Now you can't see the sim because see the now you can't move through, and the CD to dollar rate change are not affecting its cano. So that is how they were talking about the CD to dollar. You know, the Ghana debt stock, no. And then the economy in just 6 months, this is up to June. Yemfa July the Mekaho. John Dramani Mahama has been able to add $10.3 billion US choppable dollars additional to the existing cost. Nedahwa na Ghana 4 and DC 4 e catch them say nanado amona hobai. For way eya ho afutu sem na yento aso enko yanim. Yentie melake so aboaje ewo ha.
What kind of thinking is this? We are struggling. It is real. That is our reality. Our reality is that we are struggling. Our business people cannot find dollar to do business. That is the reality. And I'm telling them about MPP. What do they care about? Didn't they vote against MPP? Didn't they vote against MPP? Stop this. This government is burdening Ghanaians. We can't even find electricity to run our businesses. We need to run businesses on gensets. You know how much it costs? And you think, oh, the MPP, so what? Who cares about MPP? You think that the 36 million Ghanaians, they should keep quiet and suffer because you have moved the country from 3, where it was under MPP, to 4. So they should clap for you. If they wanted 4, you think they would have voted for you? You promised them 10. We are basically benchmarking the NDC against themselves. Sorry. It is a promise that you made to us that we are asking you to fulfill. Why are you bringing in the MPP? Arrogant braggarts. You talk plenty. You say big things. We vote for you. Now fulfill the simple things you said. You are saying that MPP. Who is bringing MPP into the matter? We are saying that you promised big push. Do it. You are saying MPP. They have a 4-year. Did MPP promise a big push? And you promised Women Development Bank. Do it. You are saying MPP. Did MPP promise Women Development Bank? They have 4 years. They want to put the economy in a place that can support these promises. So you see, when you are responding to us, tell us something that gives us an indication that this is what we are doing. Don't worry. With big push, this is the program. This is how much we have earmarked for this particular year. This is what it can deliver. And then beyond that we go. That is the kind of conversation you should give us. But don't disrespect us.
Yes, and to the me and the camera, ya adwene pa me mame afrum akwa pa. KTT respondo dopo. Mami akua afrum akwa pa. And I even mela ko saboaje ka no. Mama ye promises binuma na mu eduru ene na amanfo digina so koto aba de maamo. Ene mo aba na mo implement ya. Mo ka mo ye ka mo sie na MPP ba ye na do na MPP no nte so anote no. Na so manfo na ni a eketo obatia wo. Nka ya nto ntia wo. Na enam se mo ka bibi fufuro de kire omamma no. Na mo promise you of something bigger than what the MPP was doing. No? That is why they voted for you. It's a big push, you know. Women will say, really, you are pushing something big. Aye. Women's Bank, you know. Women will say, really, you are building the Women's Bank. 24-hour economy, no. Women will say, you are doing something. And you launch. Launching there. Mahama can only launch a part in the sky. No, we are beyond that. We want effective initiatives of programs, sir. Mo promise ye. Na de ye me yampone say, munim se mo ye kwakwahwe akwafo. And at least leave the things that were already going on in the country and continue them. Ebit agenda 111. And come to us, every one of us would have appreciated that. You came with nothing, and you are terminating what was already a system. You came with nothing, and what you are doing today is that you are what telling us say the na yen dada no mo say no I didn't tell you more buying a shares here. Government is a continuation. Government a continuation. I didn't tell another buy a sagre, no person complete, but an MC can chrono more bonny or hontino. He was unable to do nothing about it. He had to ask him, and then I was saying,
tell us how 55 million can set up a bank. When the Bank of Ghana has a requirement, capital requirement of 400 million. Tell us how in your first year's budget you have earmarked 55 million, and how you are going to make sure that by the time you exit in 2028 you have 400 million to set up a bank. Give us that comfort, but don't tell us about MPP did they open a bank. Don't tell us about that. You understand? These guys have lied in opposition, found their ways scammed into power, and they think that they can shut everybody up and do whatever they want. Listen, today we are in this country today, and for the first time the entire country is shocked. Hey, all of a sudden, so apparently it was true that some people committed crimes against Ghanaian people through the banks. But for the 8 years that these guys were in opposition, they created an impression as if there was nothing wrong with the banks. And the Kufuor and his people have just collapsed banks. When they know that indeed no bank has been collapsed. But they use the word collapse.
Yes, and I truly agree with him. One. Usu baby Women's Bank na wunya mi mpona yebisawa kanya nsasem bi kire ye na now they become MPP na de ye me ya se Ghana fo a na omko hwe musika o bank a okwa yesi ebi ni ho na ye boro won ana na do ba ya ohun de na ekoso sa amamfo de Ghana fo sika di nsamfo etis ankrofo no Omo kwan mo nkoso ni Ghana fo awuo no Ghana fo nya ahodene enam de NDC fo ka kire wonti ebegina o kese na ado mom na ye nipa bone se wo be save them against this criminals na through the NDC government omo infiltrating into the banking sector no omo di Ghana fo ma awuo. But NDC will tell you ananado could banks no na do collapse bank yo sikana yes na do spend it one spending just to collapse bank go he spend that money to pay nkrofo na omodi omusika kogu bank ya na bank managers na for musika di ano munya mfama won. But then this came out to tell you say na the 20 billion and aye den ako collapse banks na the mean say MPP for mo fata se see edi we be yebo mo nkasa Mon carry Mon church them And then a man for when you bring a more church in the name. And then a more church them. And then a more church them. Now, who PRO for Binuma? A Kamonquanka party in the opposition because they want their leader to come out. A better no Marco cancer natural Ghana for. Where at the pan nipa di twan anado o manwem. So a good bank. When someone will come for papa, why didn't you? A man for a digana for sikanti or quack jessica say, oh, more money. Oh, more a man for na bonnet, oh, more money, a man for woo. As a store, Ghanaians, we were the people going after Nanado to insult Nanado. A brown on an oil papa. And
one bank in Ghana that was collapsed. 2 of the banks were moved to GCB. Is that not the case? And all their customers with GCB. 6 or so of the rest of the bank, I think 8 of them were consolidated into CBG. And all their customers there. But these guys run among this country, telling everybody MPP, they've collapsed bank, the people have done nothing wrong. In fact, they promised the bank owners their licenses. Today they are telling us that, they admit that they owe us 5 billion. But they've paid 60%, and so we're forgiving them. And now you are in government.
Right.
We are suffering. We are struggling. You have just increased fees and charges. You know, school fees, university fees are about to be increased by 40%. You have increased fees and charges by 40%. Even when inflation was 53%, we didn't even increase fees and charges.
So what? And at the honor, ye dinado a tembo nanado ni pabone can de ye pebia de fananado. But the name no can say university fees you could have 40%. Yeah, already Jacopo. Hey, another baby uncle Poncho, why? Yame, and a bedi was some at the amount. We may quote a video where name a person we attempt me 1 in 10 tem. But 2 years now, it makes a lot of sense. Still
turning into brown for the first time. You have NDC boys dressed in national security apparels shutting down Forestry Commission officers. And the National Security Coordinator is crying and saying, I beg you, I've called them, they are party boys, I'm begging them to leave. What's happening? You understand? This government promised us a lean government and told us that, in fact, they were shading a Kufuor, that the Kufuor was running a bloated government and that they would give us a lean government. True. They came, reduced the number for the size of the government, but they are spending more. They are running a kwashoko economy, a situation where you have a very lean body, like a small in size, but a very bulky stomach. Small in size, but big in taste. They are spending 2.7 billion cedis on government machinery. That's the lean government. The bloated Akufo-Addo government spent 327 million Ghana cedis on it. And that cement, which was 85 cedis to 90 cedis, is today 130 Ghana cedis. That's how much we are buying it. We cannot pretend. Go and check 42.5 hour cement. It used to be 80 to 90 cedis, and today is 130 cedis. We cannot pretend oil is war. And I am appealing to the government that whatever it is, we run an electoral democracy. There is nothing anybody can do about the current situation other than to appeal to them to get to work and reduce the rhetoric, reduce the talk, and deal with the real issues. I heard the president this morning, I think on your radio on City 97.3, saying that, have you people heard about complaining school feeding? Have you people heard about complaining free SHS? I have a niece at a Brighouse. I am telling you, tomorrow you can go and check. Go and talk to the students. There are days that they have just one meal. Just one meal. That is the reality on the ground. And it is painful when the people are experiencing the reality, but you gaslight them by coming to tell them, you're okay, you're fine, there's nothing wrong with it. I am appealing, I am begging. Whether we like it or not, this government has over 1,200 days to go. The days are moving really, really slow. Over 1,200 days to go. They should use it and do something. And make sure that the lives of the people and the Ghanaian people are better off than they made it.
On the notice of this, and then you say black vote and I hear brown. But then you know, Shebe Kaya Kwawe. Mokaya Kwawe pa. Samuel Okuja to Kwasiampany Abrakwa ecosystem so from all the rivers across the country the TV so at the Kwachire Ghana for. And there, where is Sami Jaku, Sami Jamfi, Sami Fenese, Sami Okuja Tabrakwa, Waira Adenti and Numa Yama, ODD, Tion Carre. But the situations of Galamsey is coming worse and it's becoming really unsustainable. Nana Felix, also Felix, sorry, me and Felix, we will be a chairman. But like a know can't seem be, maybe you did not hear. I see, and this is for promise of a slim government in terms of ministerial positions. My bra, a political talk, campaign message. Yente Americanisa. Yamfa ministers you, but the appointment at John Mahama Diama Manfo, and with the presidency, ye two moka, the ministers, ye bo mo buy, ye more coupons for diesel, ye two moka sika kessie, and more mokas, the mudity. Listen to the appointment, the omoyo, the Mahama, udity.
Yeah, so basically what you have there are, you have communication specialists, directors of communications, deputy directors of communications, technical communication assistants, media aides, media liaison officers,
are you kidding me?
Communication consultant, presidential advisor on media who has a technical director to the presidential advisor. Then you have the ministers of state at the presidency.
And these guys are there for information minister.
Yes.
No, go to that list again. Just on the communication side.
There's a lot to communicate.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
You have information minister who's cabinet level,
who has ISD working for him too,
and then you're having all these guys working under the presidency,
who work under communications directorate
of the presidency.
There's a lot to communicate.
You can't be serious.
I'm just telling you, there's a lot to communicate.
And what are the conditions of service of these people?
Nobody knows. That's the issue.
That's why the transparency is not. So if I'm a lecturer in Legon and I've been teaching for 15 years, right? And I struggle to get my PhD. And then you have somebody who is a technical director to who has access to fuel. Look at read the letter they wrote. They said their fuel thing is not gone up. So this technical director, what's the competence, what's the qualification of somebody to do this work? So if we are not transparent, and I'm saying that this is mathematics, this one is not sentiment. If the government wants the pressure from the labor unions to go down, and they want to, and if they want a credible plan for IMF to, if the plan is not credible. See, if people don't accept the plan, it's not credible. If the labor unions, the businesses don't accept the policy, the IMF will not accept it. So if they will not be transparent with these guys and say, this is what we are doing, I can't understand why you have all these guys working and what are they doing? You said they have a lot to communicate. What are they communicating?
I'm just telling you. But if, what would be the justification for
look at
directors of communications?
Mention the mention the post again. Mention the thing again.
So the directors of communications.
How many directors of communication?
Yes, 4.
4 directors of communication, and then deputy director of communication.
There are 5 deputy directors
at the presidency.
Yes.
And then which one again?
2 communication specialists.
So the director is not a specialist. Okay, the specialist below.
Aloski, there's a lot to communicate.
2 communication specialists and
2
then
communication officers. 5 technical communication assistants.
So you have 4, 5, 9, 6, 7 plus 3, 10, 15.
Media aid.
How many?
1.
Media aid.
Assistant media liaison
16,
officer.
17.
Communication consultant.
18.
Then there's a professional advisor on media.
Charlie, are you sure you're not joking? Are you sure? What are you? He's not joking. What are you saying? No.
Of all the positions,
guys, let's go through this again. Let's go through this thing again. I want to be sure. And sorry if we are paying.
I was just saying, and it's a Ferris, was a Ferris man, nature. Say, miracles catch us, say, and this is for a power, say, babe, or won't feed you or more kasa, or mohunipa. He got every right to say that. Ya pack a man for good Jubilee House when you care for free, and only for communication at the presidency, and your communication minister. Any communication at the presidency on kwa any pa makuma could do what train it yomoka to say ministers answer about presidential staffers. Nankrofona ya sese omuso omunkodi sankwasi ase no muni hwe omo nim man appointment on the zebuana sa adonfo ni join FM4 ni TV3 for ni eti nkrofo we omo to TV journalists here during the campaign almost omo neutral. Omo de omo kasama Ghana buying. Omo kasama Ghana mine. O mine ye yo abusia omo animunie. These guys are all TV personals, sir. They were hardly bashing Nanado for nothing. I Rendia Bay, Abeku Santana, I can't mention their names. Mami will not Yajma or Joy. All these men were saying, say they are neutrals, but then they are all working. And now call you that way. You didn't got toy. A friend is saying Mugabe, and then or your deputy at it is deputy CEO of Toy. Hey, Radi Jacopo. Dear Coroner, they are weak and criminals. They are only criminals just to steal our monies from our pocket. Now, the Ayamiano Sono be back on say. $1 million man me mwakwaba na me mame osei Elizabeth onso mwakwaba pa. Dear me and say, in all this, no, they want to what? Cover it with their lies and propaganda. Then they say the former minister of road and transport, Abba Bontain, Abbe Koshen, the actual minister of road and transport. Nen tronen and sembima o dear. Now, Dr. Bawumia, hey, baby, oh, me ba, mo video when sama the former minister of road, ekaye, edifa, propaganda BNDC ashasi generate across the country. Momenti.
That the minister, who upon assuming office, loudly criticized the Akufo-Addo administration for employing single source procurement method, is now making a complete U-turn. At today's press conference, Honorable Abuja, who once said, who stated today that once you have engineers' estimates, once the engineers prepare the estimates for road construction, it doesn't matter the procurement method you use. He made this statement today. Is this not double standards? This blatant contradiction not only exposes his double standards, but raises serious questions about his integrity. You cannot demonize a method that others use, only to defend it when you find yourself in the same situation. If the minister now believes that procurement should be guided by technical evaluation, as it should, then he owes the previous administration an unqualified apology for the misleading accusations. To conclude, I want to add that the Ministry of Roads and Highways is a technical institution, not a propaganda arm for political spin. If the Honorable Abuja wants to be taken seriously, he must rise above selective memory and partisan grandstanding. Ghana deserves honest, data-driven, not empty rhetoric.
Until the young can say, Nanado te akonya so yesi or the contract ama a contractor be a building roads. Na contractor no the man no one found kotuhoma different contractors ya made amelobe eno de man nipa baako enti wadi bone. Omo de propaganda wo TV we ya so any TV ahodo aka so ma manfo gitum. And then this for buyer no. And this minister of road to say car kwan ne bo no yes mate se bi amfa say car kwan no bo no qualified engineer na beke se car kwan ne bo no ye sei now the ma contractor bra won fan koto se contractors ahodo meba lobby engia boni bia ni ho but nanado yes ano omo se ye de ban krono kata hyehyɛ ene kankan ena papa kan che the road minister said me judge me now you minister of road anya hwe no ene when we say wedding kwasi asema Brabonten na bepa amanfo achew. Emma megyina yanim meka nkyere say a road price, no, it was established by an engineer. So I don't care how I did to get my procurement. Me fa ho me fa so amede contract na ma nipa fufuro. Me de ma contractor so nye. What a hefa no bisa say hefa na wugina. Dear ne how I didn't I was na nye dabi. Na na de wo betra konwa no ma wo nso wo ye the same. This is for the reason why the God of Nanado will shame these guys before they will leave what? The power that we have given to them. The Minister of Road, whom we are talking about, the Obekan and the year.
Proud to the previous government's attempt to foist e-levy on the people of our country, they unilaterally decided to zero the collection of road tolls in our country. As principled as we are, we spoke against that even at the time, encouraging government to restore the tolling. They refused. They attempted to bring it back at the tail end of their regime. We were consistent and principled. And
Jimmy, road toll no. MP before you free say they wanted to build in instruments. Get the bejisikana automatically. Said the na brochire duru wa nya fe because na yasesa NDC fo guto boot wa omoti take it 10 e de ma banya na omoti 100 e de kofie ene na MPP tena asedwene hu say e wo so omonsesa saade en ntre yen abolish the road toll na yen san establish a new way of collecting the tolls, but NDC don't understand these things. Yes, omontiasio they use it as propaganda. And now can you leave yourself? More mobile, yeah, must you be better 1 liter of diesel beer, imagine 1 cedi. Any obi also beji obisi 1 cedi. After said Nipana send 200 Ghana a day. When no, why na yen kontomponi? Why na bobi krono? Yankopo na sha setete moton ketekete. Who dey tie? Now they are copying what Dr. Bawumia wanted to do with the road tolls. Tie the other kind tie.
And ask them to bring it back. And indeed, prior to the election, we made it clear in our manifesto that we'll bring it back. My brothers and sisters, what are we doing now? To improve the maintenance regime, Cabinet has given approval for the reintroduction of road and bridge tolls with a focus on modernizing the collection of these tolls. We have done the transition that we want to transition to electronic and automated tolling system, enhance transparency and auditability of revenue inflows, improve user experience and reduce congestion at toll points. The ministry has launched a concessionaire pre-qualification process so far. Public advertisements have been done. A pre-qualification conference was held on the 3rd of July 2025.
Yes, in Tabusian, the Papa Kenyan say, Adiana MPP for person 1 year. Nkrofu no Montiasiana or mu edin trofa hono. It is no more ebe install automatic collection of road tolls. The machines eba besi toll booth ho oduru ho ana wa ankasa watua. Nya fe na ede kwaku papa ekogina ho ama kwaku papa aba be wia bi di akoni fie no ana ndisi for say ye bone no ene they are going to do the same thing. Temi ye pa hey Bawumia papa Bawumia Nyankopon ahya ase eye den edi ho adanse de kire Ghana fo enema Bawumia se obeya omose ye ade bone no ene ndisi fo they are copying the same thing. Abushane eha na medo besi me bie phone lines na tum na ma for 2-3 course we pe na me de bibia asi a very short video madam nyina ase ene mo bre ma bie phone lines na tum frɛ dollar man meda wase pa ene wo bre me maame osei Elizabeth me chia pa da wase maame afro papa bi me chia pa tu per futuro ai ciao etisɛn ena Ahmed Mutar wonso me chiao me maame akua tutu amecha gap media me chiao ye pa me maame estake beri maame chiao me maame patient danso wonso me chiao ye pa ena me nua ba Amia George Frimpong also Michao pa ena make say me den chia kese so e ma tiefo nkaya mo Facebook nyina medamu nyina ase na mo bra mo de ye dai e betena ha enya adaje ene me edi nkomo mo ye fa ye nwa na frefo di kan na ye to aso panyini ye ba kwa ba
ejo so anyway ya chia osno busuafo
nyina eje oso
ai osno abusua asase man home so
chinchin
abusuano ehun se yes babia ubia e kan ho
chinchin
because oshede ekoso Ghana, the only party who has got Ghana at heart is the NPP.
Yeah,
it is the only the NPP otumi sorry ejina ekasatia de enye.
Yeah,
either the NPP is in power or the NPP is in opposition.
Yeah.
Yeka party awa implement norma eswaba mfaswama Ghana ni bia only the NPP party. These are
true.
facts.
This is true.
Yankasa Ghana is for the accounts? No. But alatafonse msemba nanui. The people in the greater Accra region, the Ghana people themselves couldn't take up and mount platforms to speak against the formation of the Igbo kingdom in Ghana. It was the accounts and a rising they spoke against that. Now look at Bawku and Samsem. Yenyanum Bawku for Eniano to even speak. Omuye press conference Bawku aje another 2 months. And so move. Us media and can find who be but one so aja to also because we are Ghana ni, because we are Sonoba, because how?
Yeah, of course.
So Ukromu Ghana anything as we speak. During the time of Nanado, Ghana was the most peaceful country in Africa.
Yeah.
The most peaceful. Yet the number 1. And then yet the number 7 under John Kwasia Mahama. Ofui Mahama. One nipa ho. Could you believe say in so yere baby in America see Donald Trump be too plain. Look at Papa ko cry ya want to me nanti Bawku yo free sui. Joe Biden. Biden no want to me nanti po. But as some say some part of America see papa no the plane no akwa jina ho. Nipa do say na wo. Mahama edahote the friends and Black Star House on two and on 9 Bawku there's an on plane call the northern part of Ghana kujina hon kasa in way and you know me I'm sympathizing with you po ya na mafenanado anka want to mean compono anka nanado want to mean kono anka say fellow Ghanaians and our friend just like on the TV, Obama update. When there are crises, it's when we see leadership.
Yeah.
I was saying, Mahama Jimmy. Yes, he didn't attempt call. Also, one minute answer. There is so much crisis happening now. You're in president, you know, wada. So crisis is and yeah, cause you. On one
yeah.
Jimmy Samu Kika. No officer will come away, not just on no crown, one power. But no one in perfect of ever power. What about power? What is IGP? IGP, where you NDC, IGP, one IGP for all. You who knew Kwasiampeni. So what you say? And the way tells the difference. And I thank God that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been vindicated.
Yeah.
Bawumia is now being seen, say, he is not the type of nipa ita trogunuso. Now what yetuminya NPP phone yenuanum bit me believe NDC for Jimmy Samani Womotra Womucha.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Every NPP member who be believe the free NDC enuma ba. NDC who no. bow your head in shame and say Nyankopon fa wo born in chow. So we NPP ni now to me my NDC ni convince you. What to me to say Emma your friend is saying Kennedy Japan. Oh, doctor, your friend is saying Mahama ba ye. Want to me and non can someone. Want to me continent ne two. And to me can say for kunto and to kopokrano. And ya de pano. I will be Jinabi Abaku di Kennedy a cheap. Edin Papa Muaba NPP mono. Nyankopon Chiaoka. I will say this. Not as a one no son of Papa. We are diabolic your friend is saying party member.
Yeah.
Who the Kennedy achi? Now you the area who internal problems. And the tone you go. Now who didn't pass your pochi. Not want to me a motor mahama at Nachi. This is the time, man. Every Ghanaian should know and see the difference between leadership and governance. John Mahama is not a leader. Cheshe Hassan Ayariga, Otin Crane, what to do I am Pia, Otin Crane, and Okasa, or Cabra Focus here,
Uncle
Nukrome. Hassan Ayariga, or free, Empia, what to mean call our own Pesiaso. Empia, what to mean call our constituency. Hassan Ayariga, anywhere you are, wherever you hear this, I'm telling you, you're a fool. That you cannot even go home because there is fire at home. And who caused the fire? You set fire and you run away to Accra. Hassan Ayariga Nasiko. Because why? You don't think about Ghanaians. The only political party here, about Berimua, they are thinking of the next election. They are not thinking of the masses. They are not thinking about the poor people in Ghana. They are not thinking about roads. They are not thinking about what people will eat. They are not thinking about lack of accommodation in Accra and its surroundings. They are not thinking about, look at Tumso. They are thinking about 2028 NDC government. They are thinking about 2028. They don't care about the people of Bawku. They don't care about lives. And the mobile money vendors. They offer Bawku Yebi. A born on night also for me coffee. Not so I also this year the idea. John Mahama. I'm saying, I think Kumasi in a curfew. Curfew, no, indirectly there is curfew in Ghana.
Everyone is afraid. Can't sit outside.
You are afraid for your life.